Oh my God, look at this. Wow, wow. Oh my God. You know, if you zoom in on John Cena's forehead, you can almost see the specks of dirt and debris from him groveling and kowtowing before China. Welcome to the Brotep Show.
You, turn around.
You prefer the view from behind?
No, well, yes. You know I can't lie.
All right, now let's get down to it. The Fast and the Furious number nine. Yes, there have been nine or more of these movies. Remember, we had Hobbs and Shaw, and that was a spinoff of the main franchise or main timeline of the original series. Okay, and that features Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham off on their own side adventure with Jason Statham's in movie universe sister, by the way. The actress, I'm at a loss for what her name is, but she is absolutely awesome and gorgeous. Now, the problem that we're having here is that John Cena thought he was dealing with rational people, but he's not. What he's dealing with are a collection of people who they have their own industry and they have no need for Hollywood. They have their own Hollywood over in China and their own action adventure, fantasy, science fiction, to some extent horror, science fantasy, sci-fis. You see, and I'm pretty sure they have their own version of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie and all these sorts of people. They have all of that. They have their own stars. So when it comes to negotiating, China has learned to negotiate from a position of strength. And so when the United States or the UK or any other film industry approaches China, they come like this. All right. And so with John Cena not knowing that China has a very, I don't know, complicated relationship with the island of Taiwan. In fact, China does not consider Taiwan Taiwan. It considers it part of China. It's the Taiwanese who consider Taiwan Taiwan. And so during an interview, John Cena mentioned Taiwan as its own country, and China lost its minds. These people here, these generals, right? There's a similar staff of generals responsible for any film that comes into the country. So now that they turn that spigot off. No, no, you're getting no attention, no Chinese dollars because your star of your movie said that that nation below us, right below us on that map, is its own country instead of part of China mainland, right? And so John Cena had to apologize. Now, the apology looked something like this.
A groveling apology, not just an apology, the most sickening apology you'll see all year from a wrestler, a Hollywood star, John Cena. Have a look.
我有一个错误，我必须说，现在就是很重要。我爱更尊重中国，更中国人。我很抱歉对我的错误，对不起，我很抱歉。你必须了解，我很爱、很尊重中国跟中国人。
So you
What did he
might
do
wonder
wrong?
what
What did he
inspired
do
that
wrong?
groveling apology. What did he do that was so wrong? Well, he said that Taiwan was a country.
Right. So, as you can see, that was John Cena's crime, according to the Chinese authorities, right? The Chinese who the staff that's responsible for films coming into their country. That was John Cena's crime. He acknowledged the existence of an independent nation right below China called Taiwan. Okay? Now, the thing is, we have to understand that China has a very strong grip over its nation's citizens, and they're used to having their way whenever there's some sort of argument. They have the last word. What they say goes, right? And they want to extend that over to all the relationships they have with people across the world. Okay. And so if Hollywood wants to come in there and do business, they have to basically play ball with China. Okay. And the movie Fast and the Furious 9 looks amazing. Amazing. I wonder if I'll get a copyright strike for this, but it's worth putting up. Hold on.
Who is faster than Dom? Smarter than Dom.
One thing I gotta say is, for those of you who are basically too young, don't do that. If you're gonna fall off a building or out of a window, look down first. Don't do what Letty did and what Dom and all these people are doing. They're leaping out of buildings off of high places with no concern over what's happening below. That's movie stuff. Don't listen to them. Do not try this at home. If you're in a situation like maybe the building's on fire and all your routes of escape are cut off, please look below and find out what's below you. Maybe it's a sharp fence and you don't want to go that direction. You want to leap towards where there's a pool or something. Look below first, okay? Just a little bit, Brotep cares about the kids. All right, Brotep cares about the kids. Here's more of Fast and Furious 9.
There's a war coming.
It's Dom's brother.
This spy game? This is I ain't going anywhere, little brother.
You can't.
Yeah, see, more people jumping off of buildings and high structures without looking below first. That only happens in film. Okay, do not try that at home. And we saw Charlize Theron with the quarantine haircut. The beer bug has not been kind to Cypher, the character that she's playing. Right, while she's in hiding, she spent all of her money on these missiles and all these rockets, and there was no money left for a proper barber or stylist to come visit her. All right. And so to get back to John Cena here, I think that I'm of two minds about this. On the one hand, you didn't do anything wrong, John. This reminds me of a guy I knew who was dating a super hot girlfriend, right? So the guy was a regular dude, but so he was like, you know what he was? The guy was like physically, he was a four without money. Like, he wasn't rich or anything. So he's a four without money. And then somehow through his swag, like his mouthpiece, like he was a good talker and, very smooth, and he managed to land a dime. The girl was a 10, you know. She could almost be a supermodel. Really, really gorgeous. And everybody wanted her. Now, they had some sort of, every time they had an argument, he could not approach her from a position of strength. It's always him groveling, right? And he comes in the arguments with, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, you know? And one of the routine things that those of us who were present during these arguments would hear from her is, I forgive you if you tell me what you're sorry for. Get it? He didn't even know what he's sorry for. He's coming from a position of weakness in the relationship. And so he has no idea what He's sorry for. He's just groveling, apologizing, apologizing, apologizing. I don't know if they're still together anymore, but that was a thing to watch. That was a thing. That was a hell of a show to put on whenever those two would get into an argument. This is the same thing here with Hollywood, John Cena, and their relationship with China. China is the hot girlfriend. China's the second biggest box office on the planet. Now you have to keep in mind here. Keep a little bit of perspective. China by itself is the second largest. The US needs other places to be the first largest. Okay, the U.S. needs territories in Japan, territories in Hawaii, Puerto Rico, all these different places. The mainland U.S. needs all those places in order for its industry to be number one. China by itself is number two without needing anyone else. And so that's why China's the hot girlfriend in this equation here. It's a massive power imbalance. Okay, so for me, I think that we should not be capitulating to a government that's so, strong-handed. We should be doing our own thing. But we have to also keep in mind that the studio for the Fast and Furious spent $200 million and above to make this movie. I don't know where that money went. Actually, I can tell where the money went. It's a spectacle of stunts and explosions. So I can see where the money went, right? So they spent 200 million and above for this movie. And so two or 3,000 people were involved in making the movie between the producers, the cast and crew. All those jobs are on the line, and it's up to John Cena to make sure that those people get their money's worth and or get paid, get the recompense, because you're involved in this filmmaking endeavor in order to make some money, to pay your mortgage, to pay your bills, to pay your car notes, to pay your kids' tuition. All these things are in the balance, and they're at the mercy of China. And John Cena messed all that up by mentioning that Taiwan is Taiwan and not part of China. All right. So he had to come out and apologize profusely for this, right? So that these people who are involved with the thing, all the investors, I didn't even count the investors. I only counted the cast and crew and the producers. I didn't even count the investors of the board of the corporations, for Paramount. I think it's Paramount that did this, right? So I can see both sides of this argument here, right? Now, before I go, shout out to the Dominicans. It looks like after 9 or 10 movies of this franchise, Dominic Toretto Dominic Toretto's ethnicity may be revealed because he was kind of like ambiguous before. He looks a little bit Italian, he looks a little bit Hispanic, he looks a little bit black, looks a little bit white, and no one really knew what Dominic Toretto is. However, in a clip with Cardi B, it looks like Cardi B gives them a Dominican greeting, right? Let's see it right here.
Dominic Toretto. ¿Qué lo que usa? Dominic Toretto. ¿Qué lo que usa? Dominic Toretto. ¿Qué lo que usa?
Right? So it's canon now. It's canon. Dominic Toretto is Dominican. Shout out to y'all Dominicans, man. All right. The star of one of the huge franchises on the planet. He's Dominican. So, shout out to you. You know. On the other hand here, right? Just a little bit of pettiness on my end before I end this video, a little bit of pettiness. I see that I see that we have a group of female SWAT members here. They're all hot and they're all smoking hot, right? We're talking smoke shows. These women are gorgeous, Cardi B included. I always found Cardi B attractive, but the only thing is her eyes are a little bit close together and she looks a little bit psychotic, right? But she's still smoking hot. I'd say Cardi B's a 9. If I were to do something as petty as to rate women, from 1 to 10, Cardi B would be a 9 or even a 10. All right. So We have all these fine, these lovely Hispanic women here, and seeing part of the audience that I have on this platform, the racist Hispanics who want black people or black men specifically to stay away from Hispanic women, I have bad news for you. I'm a screenwriter and I know how this works. Do you know what's going to happen in this film? Because you got to remember that there's a love triangle in this movie, and it has nothing to do with Dominic Toretto. The now canonically Dominican character has nothing to do with him and Letty and the baby mama who died on the airplane when Cypher killed her, right? Nothing to do with them. That love triangle is this. You remember? It's the black woman who's a computer hacker, and between Tyrese Gibson and Ludacris. Luda. Now, remember, canonically, in the last Fast and Furious, when both of them made their move, they all both men shot their shot with the character, and she shot them both down. They were both friend zoned, deeply, deep friend zone. And so these two guys are single. They are high value, meaning all these heists these men have gone around the world to do, they are multi-millionaires by now. I would say canonically in the movie, these two characters that the two men portray here, I would say that those two men are worth 10, 20 million dollars apiece. These two guys are canonically in the film millionaires. Okay. And they got swag, and they're well dressed, and they're handsome, and they drive around in very good cars. You know what I mean? High expensive, high grade expensive cars, Bugattis, all these sorts of things. Now, what that means is these two free agents, and again, I wrote screenplays. You wouldn't put these two things, these two elements in a film without having them meet up. For those of you who don't know about screenwriting, one of the unspoken rules is in a screenplay, if you have an immovable object, right, and an unstoppable force, those two elements must meet. They must meet. So when you have Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris as two single men who are funny, they're charming, they're rich, and they're hound dogs, and you have a truck full of available women, at some point in the film, those two men will be in a room with these women, pushing their game, shooting their shot. And for the racist Hispanics who routinely come to my show to troll, all I that's what I gotta say, okay? That's what I gotta say. Ooh, I can't wait. I want all of you slow taps and racist Hispanics to see this, all right? To see, and I want you to go see the movie. And after you get basically pacified with, oh my God, Dominic Toretto is canonically Dominican because Cardi B said que lo que, right? Good, all right. And then the next scene will be these two fine brothers hollering at these fine women, all right. So with that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications if you're on any social media platform. I want you to go there and spread a link to this video, spread a link to this platform. And what I want to actually do is grow this platform. We are at 100 and change, a little bit over 100 likes, or not likes, a little bit over 100 subs. What I want is for us to get to 300. Can you do that for me? Can you help me grow to 300? If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. It costs you nothing. And hit that bell, and you'll be notified whenever a new video comes out. And I try to upload videos daily now, okay? And they'll be short. They're not really long, so it won't put a strain on your day. It'll be short and sweet, You know, you hear what I have to say and you see some stuff on the screen, and then you get the news, you get the pop culture references and all these sorts of things, and then you move on about your day. But thank you for spending this part of the day with me so far. All right. And remember that we also have a project going. So hit that Cash App if you want. If you want, you can hit the Cash App so that I can bring you a Black Star Trek. Okay? That's what it is. Thank you very much and have a lovely, lovely day.